Hey guys, today I'm going to cover kvCORE as we are switching from Booge over to kvCORE. So I just wanted to do like a quick presentation to kind of go over some of my favorite aspects of kvCORE. Our office used them for over 5 years, and there are a ton of goodies that we're going to be able to have soon. So let's kind of go over kvCORE. It's going to have a little bit of everything. It has your full web IDX. You have a full website that you can actually even customize. Smart CRM, that is where the power of kvCORE is. Your lead generation. There are so many ways that you're going to be able to create leads through different aspects that they have, all these tools they have available. Listings, all of these different listings that you have at your fingertips to easily be able to text, email different clients, kind of save your hot sheet, all that fun stuff, different areas, just kind of save those, filter those, look at them every day, send them out easily to your clients, anybody that is looking at a different area when something comes on the market, all that fun stuff. And of course, marketing autopilot. There's so much power behind the intelligence that kvCORE has for us. So we're going to take a little look at all the different features that we have available to us. Your website, you're going to be able to add custom headers, change the color theme, kind of add your text, your photo, all of these different elements that you have to your website. Unlike Booge, where we can really dive into like neighborhood pages and stuff like that, you can create basically like a tab for featured areas. It's going to go to a page with all of the different listings and data and stuff like that. You can create like a resource page that'll have links to the different chamber, county, area, whatever you want, featured partners, all of that kind of fun stuff. But we're not able to do like what we were able to do with Booge as far as all that content and slideshows and stuff like that. But there is a ton of power behind the kvCORE website. So definitely as the rollout happens, we'll be doing more videos on how to be able to change the different templates and themes and adding your information and all that kind of fun stuff. Let's see. You have your smart CRM. This is where there's so much power. I love the filters. So when I used it, I had a ton of different filters kind of saved, what I really needed it for, what types of leads. Are they active, inactive? We used to do our taco margarita monthly masterminds, and we would just kind of give different scripts for texting old leads that never communicated with us, that were over a year old. We used to have a lot of fun with that. But there are a lot of ways that you can save these different types of leads and then save that filter. So it's one click, easy. I ran pay-per-click. So of course I would have the different sources, hashtags. So I could easily do my reporting every month. And it was super easy because I would just create a search for a hashtag, which is basically a folder labeling what type of lead, where they came from. So there's a lot of power behind the CRM and how you can kind of save these searches that you want to do all the time. And it's really going to give you that power to connect with whether leads, your sphere, all of these different things, and be able to communicate based on the score lead or what their activities are. It's a one-stop shop for all of these elements. And of course, there is an app that you can use as well, which is very powerful. So you'll want to make sure that you have that. The smart CRM, one thing I love, that you can see everything when you click on that person's name. If they're on social, all of their socials will be linked to there. You'll be able to see every single property they've viewed, if they've sent it off to somebody, all of the communications, if they're responding to your text, your emails, everything is kind of stored within the CRM, which was not something that we really had in Booge easily, but there is a ton of references inside of the CRM, inside of one particular client. You can really look and see everything that's going on within that one person, and you can label them differently, which is going to only help you when you are doing those filters in your CRM. So if they are a lead and now they're, looking at stuff, you can actually toggle and switch that, what kind of source are they? And of course, when they've closed, you can put that in. It's going to really help you keep that CRM organized, which is a super powerful tool that I'm super excited for. Lead engine. The squeeze pages, the unlimited landing pages. So we use those for our buyer and seller guides. Of course, getting a list for this or that. I mean, the sky's the limit for landing pages, which is going to be a beautiful landing page with forced registration, whether it be your home valuation, of course, as I mentioned, the different guides. There's a lot of different ways that you can use those landing pages. And squeeze pages are going to allow you to do very customized searches. And then you get a custom link. So if you're running like Facebook ads, pay-per-click ads for certain cities, you may want to use the squeeze pages to be able to track all of that. So for our office, we actually had a huge Google spreadsheet with all of these different searches. So it may be a particular city, it may be golf course properties, it may be pool homes, and we were able to use those to post to social or use it in our pay-per-click ad campaigns to be able to drive leads and get leads for those, whatever that search may be. So maybe you're looking, check out the hottest, golf course properties in X city. Well, you can do a squeeze page for just specifically that. Or what can you get for under X amount of dollars? Creating those graphics that we had when we created those squeeze pages, the agents were able to use those as often as they wanted. It would go straight back to them. There was so much power in these squeeze pages and all that. And of course, they have a full team. So if you're wanting more, they have a full team that'll run all of these different social or Google ads for you. And of course, they have where you can sync the leads and all of that kind of stuff. Another feature I absolutely loved were the text codes. You can have unlimited text codes, which is maybe you have on a sign writer. So you could have, text, Heather 123, at this. And what it's going to do is you can go in there and say, oh, you're doing an open house, or you have a new listing. You have a sign writer that has that message on that. You have assigned it to this property. Now, when someone's driving by, the looky-loos, instead of them grabbing all your flyers, they can actually text that, or you can do one up and do a QR code for it. And what it is you've assigned a particular property to that text code that you've kind of set up. They're going to automatically receive all the photos, all the content and information for that particular property. Now that property goes under contract, you get a new listing. You're just going to go in the dashboard and say, well, now assign it to this, move that sign writer over, put the QR code on the property flyer. Now you have all of these different ways that you are able to capture those leads, because that lead will come to you as soon as they text that. It's going to have your information as well as all the property information. So that's great if you're doing open house or, you have a new listing, anything like that. Create those custom sign writers and then you're good to go. So maybe you create 5, 10, however many you want, come up with something clever as far as the text code, and then have fun with it. It's such a super easy way to capture those leads. We had a blast with those. Next one is, let's see, your property listings. All of your listings, it's going to be super easy for you to be able to share to your sphere. Maybe a new listing pops up. Again, use these filters, create searches. Maybe you work certain areas or subdivisions or something like that. Create a filter for those. So when something pops up, you can easily text, a prospect or somebody that you're out showing property to. Super easy to text or email a group of listings or one listing to that. Do reverse prospecting. There's so many things that you're going to be able to do at your fingertips. It's not going to be just your listings or just your office. You can actually have the full database of your MLS at your fingertips inside of your dashboard to be able to help these clients. A lot of my agents, they kind of, spent 10 minutes inside of their dashboard every day just to kind of do that kind of follow up. What are people doing? What new leads? What activity are people doing? So being able to easily text a group of listings or anything like that to your database is really great. And of course, you can toggle between, setting up those filters. So maybe it's just your listings or anything like that. But the listing aspect in your side of your dashboard is pretty powerful. The next one are these smart CRM, marketing, autopilot, you name it, they have it. So the search alerts, of course, are going to look beautiful. They're going to automatically, depending on what your client is searching for, it'll send them that. You can actually even toggle to log in as one of your leads, say, oh, well, our budget changed, or we're really looking for this. A lot of times when they initially do that search, it's very generic. And as they get closer, they may need to tweak that. You can log in as them to adjust that. You can set up a different search for them. There's a lot of power in being able to do that. The smart campaigns, it's almost like having an ISA working for you full time. So between the smart campaigns, automatic, seller, buyer, drips, the behavioral alerts are absolutely incredible. So they will receive different text or emails based on the behavior of what they're doing on your website. So if maybe they haven't been on in 6 months and then they start coming back and they start being active, they're going to get a different text than somebody who's active every day. So it's really, it really depends on what activity they're doing, but it is amazing because it is like having an inside sales agent kind of work in your dashboard and your database for you, and they'll receive different messages based on what they're doing and the smart campaigns and everything. And of course, you can edit those if you want to. For me, I'm like, that is what kvCORE is known for. So I don't really want to deviate from what they're doing, but you can modify and see what's going to be sent out. They have a full list of all of those. So those are a lot of fun, incredible. It is powerful to have kind of like a full-time marketing team working on your behalf to really help you cultivate all of these leads, because that can be a full-time job and you need to focus on income producing activities. But they have a full system that is, artificial intelligence is pretty powerful, and they will be receiving notices, the property alerts, all of this fun stuff. And of course, you'll have, I don't know if you've ever heard of like the Mojo Dialer. So inside of your app, your kvCORE app, they have a dialer. So you could set up, it'll basically tell you who to call and why. And it's like that Mojo Dialer where it just automatically queues up all these calls, and it's just going to one after another to try to get you in touch with all of these people. That's super powerful if you're a phone person and like that. I am not a phone person, but there's a lot of power in that. It's pretty cool. The Open House app is one of my favorites. So you've probably heard of like the Open House Pro, and it costs money. This is part of what you get with kvCORE. So you can set up whether a QR code, use your iPad, set it up. If you're doing an open house for someone else's listing, it's okay. You're going to put in that MLS. It's going to say, hey, is this the address? You're going to say yes. You can put in your own photos. It'll pull for the MLS. You'll say what question, you'll be able to say you want your name, phone number, email. You can put whatever information you're requiring. They'll fill it out, or they could use the QR code and basically get that to be able to fill it out on their own phone. But the great thing about this is everything's going to have a hashtag, which is their labels in a folder. So you'll be able to easily be able to follow up with all of these people that signed up at the open house. Not only that is once they fill in that information, they'll receive a text that has all of your information as well as the property information, making it super easy for them to remember your listing. So there's a lot of power in that. It keeps everything inside of your CRM, which is absolutely wonderful. And of course, another thing that I love about kvCORE is they really sync, and like that Lead Gator, they integrate with almost every tool that's out there. So kvCORE is the basically leading website out there. They're going to integrate with the Zillows, with Realtor.com, with your BombBomb, with MailChimp. There's so many third-party integrations. Basically, if it is a well-known CRM that you may use, it's going to integrate with that. So the power behind kvCORE to be able to have everything truly in one system, there's a ton of power in that. And of course, we'll know more details soon. But as far as we know, it's going to be launching Q3 2022. So we're super excited for all of this, and stay tuned for more details as we get them. Chat soon. Bye.